Yo, what up? It's the Cosmic here, coming at y'all with another case study. And today I actually took a Twitter poll to see which company that I should do next. WIMI, which is a 5G play, ACB, which is a cannabis play, or HEXO, which is another cannabis play. And out of the 52 of y'all that graciously voted, 63.5% of y'all wanted HEXO. So with that, we will get started. First, who is HEXO? What the heck is this company? Well, if you don't know already, it's a pot company. Everybody should know pot companies because who doesn't like pot? I didn't say that, so let's look at their website. Their website is it's not bad. It's not the best, but it's not bad, and they are the future of the cannabis, trusted, innovated, visionary. And they were a 2018 winner of Cannabis Product of the Year. Yada yada yada. I really don't care. I just care about who they are, what they have, what's their finances like. And so whenever I start my research or do any of these case studies, I look at my key data first. And my key data will go over its market cap. What is it? The market cap is sitting at 230 million currently. What is its float? The shares outstanding is not the float. It's actually its total amount of shares. The float is the shares outstanding minus the percentage of shares held by insiders. So I actually had to look up the float on FinViz because Benzinga Pro didn't have it populated for some reason, and FinViz had it at 283.54 million float, which is a mid float for me. I typically don't like mid floats as they aren't as volatile, but I've been noticing that they're great for swing trades. So with that, I look at their key finances next. Their debt and their cash on hand are the two biggest things that I look at. And their debt is currently sitting at 75.82 million, and their cash on hand is 80.42 million. And we can find that right over here. And yeah, actually here in the key data. Uh, I lied to you. It's not in the key data. It's over here in the finances, and you'll be able to find all that. You just keep going through around here. So next, I look at my chart. I look at my 52-week highs and my 52-week lows. 52-week high is $8.48, a pretty impressive 52-week high. But the 52-week low is 35 cents. A whole $8 off its high down here in March 2020 from April 2019. So it has cracked huge. And what really caused this run up was the legalization of marijuana, the rapid legalization of marijuana. So it was just running in sympathy with all these plays. And then they just started to fade away because this was really overextended. I see the actual value of this company right here in this range because that's the sorry about that, but that's because that's the range that they've been they've kind of teetered in right here for good, was that 2017 to almost a whole year. They stayed within the threes and the fours. Now, whenever I'm looking at my key levels of resistance and support, if you don't already know that, I want what those are. They're the levels where the stock rebounds. It goes one way or the other way. And I want to see it hit multiple times. So my top one is going to be my top one. It's always going to be my top level of resistance. They have to break this for me to see any breakouts above that high. But I mean, right now they're at 98 cents, so I don't think it's going to go up to 8.35 anytime soon. But I don't know. I'm not a soothsayer. I'm not a professional financial advisor. So you do your research on this. I am providing you my research. And so I want to see it have a top and a bottom to prove that this is a key level. So right here, 4.99. I actually like to make that 5 because round numbers are usually a bigger, a more noticeable support / resistance level, because that's where a lot of stop losses usually trigger around nice big whole numbers. So then our next one will bring that down almost to an exact 3. And then we got 208. So nice easy resistances, except for this 251, or this 151, I apologize, which it's perfectly fine. Then we just keep going, and then our most recent support is going to be right here at 89 cents, where it's bounced off 89 cents right here a couple of times. It hit its peak right here, and it failed back here in late mid-May, and it's just held its support. So we'll see what happens in the future. I'll get into my plans on trading this here in a bit. So what caused the huge death? I'm not really concerned about the overextended. I'm concerned about this right here. Why did this happen? And what was happening was there's some laws being changed so that they were found out that they were not in compliance to the laws, that they needed to fix their operations in their grow houses to actually meet with the Canadian compliance. And they ended up actually rallying and redoing that, fixing all that fun stuff. And then they released horrible earnings. So it was just like a double whammy, 2 nails in the coffin. It just got destroyed. And you can go back through, if you have Benzinga, just go back on your newsfeed. Articles are all populated from back then. I just want to spare y'all some time of scrolling through all of this to actually look at it, give you a quick synopsis of what I found. And that's the only time I've really cared about something. Why did this happen? So now that I know the why, I can get into the where it's going, where I think that it may go. And I like to get in recent. I like to look at the past 3 months at this point, 3 to 5 months. I don't want to go anywhere past the current year, January on. This is what I'm looking at. So with that being said, it really didn't pop up in my radar because I really didn't start actively trading hardcore until early April. I've been studying the market for about 5 years now, but I haven't really started actually putting my money in it until about now. And it wasn't on my radar at all until this spike. I saw this on a market scanner and I was like, okay, what's going on? And that spike was May 15th. So we go over here and we look what's going on. Well, May 13th, they got a letter of non-compliance. It looks like, honestly, they're just running in sympathy with marijuana stocks because they hit non-compliance on the 13th, but then they started to spike. And they tried to meet that compliance again, which, by the way, keep that in mind whenever I get to my future talk. So, with that being said, almost the next day they drop an offering. Right after they spike on the 18th, they drop an offering here. Man, how much is it for? It's going to be in Canadian because they are a Canadian company. 1.05, so we're looking at about 70 cents. So the offering was for about 70 cents, and it dropped down to the 60s. Actually, it just continued to drop down to the 40s. And then this, right around, not right around here. Right around here is whenever I started to look at it. Because the offering that they offered, it was not going into effect for a couple of days, and their stock was already way below the price, and my thoughts were offering above the price, it should come up to meet it. It should bounce back to meet it. So I swung it. I actually swung it for 1 day. I really wish I swung it for 2 weeks, but here's the proof that I actually was in it. I bought it on 520. 520. Right her. Bought it on 520. It just faded away, failed. And I think I sold it after hours right here on 521. And saying completely to my chat room and anybody else, hey, this is probably going to go back to the 60s. And the next day it did exactly that. It actually hit my sell where I had my stop sell limit at 60 cents. I was in it from the average about maybe 59 or 51 ish, and sold at 51. I made like $5 off of this. It was ridiculous. I put so much liquidity in it, told myself it was a swing trade, and just got out my first chance I got to take a profit. That's not how you're supposed to swing trade. That's not how you're supposed to stick to your plan. And I did great position building, but I didn't stick to my plan properly. So they had that offering, and it went up, and it started to consolidate a little bit until June 4th. And this is whenever the whole cannabis can inhibit COVID. It's getting really, really popular. And then they get this right here on June 1st. Their Bellevue facility receives its sales license. So they're opening up a new facility and they're eligible to sell. And that's actually big for almost any company. And what happened the days following it? Just huge spike. Huge spike. Almost, what is that? Almost a 100% gain right there. And this is something that I look for. This is showing more health into this company, especially with the state of the world, how it is. Cannabis is just quickly becoming more and more popular, more and more legal around the world. This is something that I am going to be possibly looking for another swing. What I really want to see is it test its 0.89 level. If it gets down to there, I'm probably going to buy it back in. If it can break one reliably and stay above one, I'll probably get in. But I'll go over my whole plan on how to play this here in a bit. I just want to finish up this recent bit of news because this right here is starting to get really important. On the 8th, right here, you're starting to see all these options. You get all these calls, and they're sweeps. They're near the ask, but all these call sweeps are starting to be taken in effect, and that means people with money. What I see is people with money are looking at this stock now, looking at it to come back up. So and then you're just seeing all these news articles talking about cannabis, that it's going up, it's evolving with growing biotech influence, it's starting to get huge. And then June 11th happened. And this is why, A, don't hold into earnings. B, don't try to predict what a stock will do after earnings. It reports its third quarter earnings up 30% up to 22.1 million. That's freaking phenomenal. That's awesome. You want to see that kind of growth, especially after they reported bad earnings and they had a huge death drop. But it didn't really go that much else. It didn't really spike into it. So it's something that you have to react to the price action of what the stock is doing. And you can't really predict what is going to happen after any type of news catalyst. You just gotta react. And now, whenever it comes down to swing trading, it depends on the kind of catalyst that you want to hold through. If it's a store launching, you might want to buy the hype and sell the news, sell right after the official announcement and the spike, because you don't know what's going to happen later. And that's what I'm kind of in the situation with GNUS. I was for sure today was going to spike with the launch of their cartoon channel, but it did spike, but kind of faded for the rest of the day. So we'll see how that goes on. That's going to be another topic for another day. So we see that their net loss is down by 93%, which is fantastic. Like, this is just nothing but good news for this company. And so what do I see? What do I think? This company needs to stay in compliance. They're in danger of being delisted. They did not close over the dollar. They need to close over a dollar for 10 days in a row to meet SEC or New York Stock Exchange compliance. So I can see hype. I can see hype and articles coming out for the next maybe week or two. And then after they hit compliance, I can possibly see them dropping another offering to try to unload some of their debt. So what is my plan? How am I going to play this stock? Well, like I said earlier, if it comes down and tests the 89 range, I want to see if it's a reliable support, if it will hold that 89 cents. If it does not hold that 89 cents, it will possibly be a no play for me. That being said, I'm jumpy. I'm a jumpy guy. So if it does hit 89 cents, I might actually get in it. And if it goes, and I'll start my position small, possibly 100 shares. And if it goes down and hits its next support range, which will be about here in the 82s and the 80s, I'll probably add another 100, 150 shares. And that's my position building. But if it ever hits 70, that's it. I'm out. I don't want to keep adding on. I don't want to keep doubling down. I want to have a set limit to where I'm going to take my absolute loss, and my absolute loss would be here down in the 70 region. I know that's a huge jump, but you have to realize I will be adding onto my position, starting small up here and adding if it goes down. So let's say it doesn't go back down. Let's say tomorrow it actually starts to gap up. What's my plan? Well, my plan will be to wait for a pullback. Let's see if it can break that dollar range. Let's see if it can get back over $1. And if it comes back down close to $1, I'll start my position. I'll probably start my position with a nice 150 shares. I'll stick it with 100 to make it nice and a round number. And I will just ride the waves and the dips and add on the dips, take my profits into spikes. Especially now that I know how to switch lots on E-Trade, it seems like a good plan to me for this to be a nice swing for the next couple of weeks, because they're going to be wanting to gain compliance. They announced great earnings. Nothing but news is coming out on marijuana stocks because it's a hot sector right now because of the COVID, possible inhibiting COVID-19. So we'll see what happens. This is a stock that's on my eye. I may be playing it emotionally because I did have that bad trade. I mean, it's not a bad trade, it's a gain. Any gain is going to be a good trade to me. But I didn't stick to my plan. I didn't follow through. I said, I'm going to sell at 60, and I didn't. I could have made 5 times the amount of money. I could have made almost $150, maybe $200 off of this trade if I stuck to my plan. So with that being said, yeah, that's it. It does look like it's bearish or bullish to me. It's hit its nice, bottoms down here, and they need to get back into compliance. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited for the future. Especially with cannabis starting to be completely legalized around the world, and this is possibly a really, really good candidate for a nice swing trade. Selling, where would I sell at? Right here. If I got in at 1, I'd probably sell. I'll take that 25% gain. If it breaks through and then it comes back down and tests the 25 cent, I might buy back in to go all the way up to 150. But I'm looking at these key resistance levels and I'm basing my exit plans on all of these. I'm basing my adding plan on these support levels, and that's how I'm swing trading. So if with that being said, here is my shameless YouTuber plug. Please leave a like, comment down below, share to your friends. Let me know how this was. Follow me on Twitter and join our Discord server. We're giving actionable news alerts. We're working really closely with Benzinga Pro right now. We're trying to get a live news feed to be active in there. We're just making a whole lot of moves right now to try to help our community grow and learn with all of us. So with that, thank you so much, fam. Peace.